Biggie just said he watched a lot of movies over the holiday break. So did I. Let's compare notes here briefly.
Okay.
Now, I watched some older movies.
Oh, okay.
Older.
Well, remember I was on a World War II kick. I was watching a Netflix documentary on World War II. So at the end of that, it said, if you like this, you may like Saving Private Ryan. And so, and it said it's leaving Netflix soon. And so I said to my kids, I said, let's watch Saving Private Ryan. I wanted to show
As a
them-
fam.
As a family, yeah. I said, I wanted to show them, what it was like in World War II and all that.
Heavy.
Very well. I had to convince them both. I was like, come on, let's watch it. Let's watch it. They both like, no. I was like, come on, let's watch. This is.
Did your wife have your back, or was she involved in the conversation?
She had my back. She didn't want to watch it. She's like, I'll go off to bed, but you all really should watch this. It's historical, and it's important, and it's a really great movie. And it is. I mean, I love Saving Private Ryan. So we put it on. Now, the first 15 or 20 minutes are so brutal.
Just visceral.
And my son is 18 and at college. My daughter is 15. And we watch it, and at the end of that scene, my son said, I can't handle this. I gotta get out. And I said, no, you should watch. The ending is really good. And he's like, I can't. It was too real. He's like, it's too real for me. So he left.
It was real.
It was. And my daughter and I watched it, and she loved it. She's got a little bit more of a stomach for that kind of thing. But and then he told his friend, apparently, that he couldn't make it all the way through, and his friend called him a bitch. And so now he's saying, so, well, okay. So at the end of that, it said, if you like this, you might like Inglourious Bastards from
Oh, man. Yeah. Quentin Tarantino.
Tarantino.
A more fantasy element, but just as bloody.
Well, I'd never seen it, so I watched it, and I enjoyed it. I especially like, is it Christoph Waltz who played? Oh my God, he's amazing.
There's two scenes that are simply perfect cinema.
I think he won the Oscar for
He
that.
should have.
Yeah.
Well, the opening scene is
The opening scene is breathtaking.
I mean, the opening scene, I just was so drawn in.
And then the scene in the cafe underground.
Oh, yeah.
It's perfection.
I agree. I liked it a lot, but those two scenes are what
they
really
make the
jumped.
movie.
Well, at the end of that.
Well, they got you by the short curlies.
At the end of that.
Netflix.
You know what it said? It said, if you like that, you might like Django Unchained. Okay? So I start watching.
So you've not seen either of these?
I've not seen either of these movies. These are Tarantino movies. So
You purport to be a cinephile.
I know. And those are two I had not seen. And so I've seen most of Tarantino's, not all. So I start watching Django Unchained.
With Christoph.
Yes, exactly. What a great actor.
Incredible
Good
role.
Lord, yeah. So I'm about 45 minutes into it, and I'm just too sleepy. But I loved it. I was like, this is great.
It's fantastic.
I said to my wife, she came out to get some water. And I said, I'm getting ready to watch Django Unchained. She goes, I'm not watching slavery on Christmas.
Put that on a shirt. Sell it.
Well, I mean,
sell them at Nikki Haley rallies. Not on Christmas.
Slavery? Not up in here.
I think we all know what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about making choices.
Yes. I'm just watching this movie about states' rights.
I keep getting texts from Nikki Haley. She keeps on texting me now.
I do too. She texts a lot. I get like once a day texts from Nikki Haley.
Is she asking for your money or just your support?
She says, let's see what Nikki says. She's like,
Can I get her number when you're done?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Nikki says, hey, let's talk about America. Do you have a minute to talk about America
Well, yes.
and the future of America?
She'll use your name too.
Yeah. She's like, hey, Chris,
Yeah.
it's Nikki Haley. Would you like to take a minute to talk about the future of America? I'm like, okay, yeah, let's talk about the future of America. I'm getting more and more texts from her. But anyhow, so I watched.
I heard you're Ramaswamy, man. That's a wasted vote. So.
Yeah.
What a waste.
Heard it through the grapevine that Vivek had your vote a while ago, but
He's a dope.
I'm off of him.
Come on.
Another one I get will be like, let's talk about Joseph Robinette Biden. I'm like, why are y'all using his full name?
Who's this loser over here, Biden? So anyhow, the A train comes out to get water. I say, let's watch this Django Unchained. I'm not watching slavery. It's Christmas. So she goes on back to bed. I start it. I'm 45 minutes into it. I love it, but I can't hold my eyes open, so I go to bed. The next day, I come out. It's the middle of the day. I'm going to restart it. Gone from Netflix. Oh, they took it away. They took it away. So I've only seen 45 minutes of it.
Did you see DiCaprio?
Well, okay. So I go to this Christmas party where my friend is, and I said, I've only seen a few, and I said, I've only seen the first part. They took it away. And they said, "Isn't DiCaprio brilliant?" And I said, "I didn't know he was in it.
DiCaprio's in this?
I did not know he was in it.
Yeah, he's not in the beginning.
No, apparently not. They were like, DiCaprio was brilliant. And I said, I didn't even know he was in it. So now it's $4 for me to rent it. If
all the services you have.
I know, I looked.
That's embarrassment. That shouldn't be like that.
I agree. There's a good app that Chris Demm and Biggie and I have called Just Watch, and you can go and search a show or movie to see where it's playing, and for free it's playing on Stars streaming, but I don't have that. And so it says you can rent it for $3.99, and I don't know, but I want to see the end of it. I loved it. I loved the first part of it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
It's really good.
And now, did you like that better or the Inglourious Bastards?
I give Django the edge personally.
So far, I like Django
Inglourious
better.
Bastards is good.
I agree,
but I think Django's better.
So far I agree with you 100%. I have liked Christoph Waltz, and Jamie Foxx is great.
He's fantastic.
Great, and the opening scene of that movie is really good.
Yes.
That's good stuff. I'm gonna podcast my ass off about this.
Hello.
I'm going all in on podcasting about Tarantino movies.
20-year-old movie.
20-year-old movies. That's
It's all you.
That's my jam.
BBJ hadn't seen it. Has he?
Two more. Two more movies. No, I don't know if BB. No, he's a Tarantino man, so he may have seen those.
Oh, he may have.
Two more movies I watched. The Purge. Okay.
My
daughter
The old
suggested.
one?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
My daughter
That's a
suggested.
fun.
It is
little
fun.
I thought it was good.
You know, I will say this: they're not great sequels by any means, but they are what they are.
Yeah.
If you watch the sequels, you're going to get the same thing, and I like them.
Okay.
I like the first one.
It has Ethan Hawke in it.
It does.
You know what it said afterwards? It said,
Hey, you like Ethan?
"You like
Hawke?
Ethan Hawke? You might like this." And it threw up there. Now this
Gattaca.
Okay. No. This is a new movie. It's called Leave the World Behind. Have y'all heard about this?
I watched it.
Okay.
I've heard about this, but Beth has seen it, but I have not.
Very interesting concept, and really tore me up a little bit. And Dave, I think you'll be into this.
All
Okay. The movie's called Leave the World Behind because Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke are married.
Oh, yes.
And she gets up one day and she goes, "I have gotten a great deal. I've rented us for the weekend a beach house that's an hour from here. It's out. I'm assuming it's out at the Hamptons because they're in New York." And she says, "Got it for a great deal. It's called Leave the World Behind. That's the name of the beach house." So she goes and they go. And while they're there, strange things starts happening. Well, it's about basically the end of the world, and we turn on each other, and hackers get in, and you can't see TV, and the internet's down. It's like the worst nightmare, of our whole grid is gone, and it's how we turn on each other. What bothers me about it is it's produced by the Obamas, and I'm thinking, what do they know, to produce? I mean, it's really way too real.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
It's way too real.
There's a lot of conspiracy around, especially since the Obamas produced it.
It's frightening to me.
And of course, they're saying it's scare tactics.
Well, I don't know. Here's the interesting part of it. In the movie, she's rented the place online. I mean, this is really the very beginning of it. She's rented the place online, and they are there for the first day, and things are fine, and they getting ready to go to bed, and there's a knock at the door, and the actor Mahershala Ali and his daughter in the movie, like a teenager, are there, and they're black, and so. The couple, Ethan Hawke and Julia Roberts, open the door, and Mahershala Ali says, "I know you'll find this hard to believe. I own this house, but we were on our way back into New York, and there's been a blackout or hacking or something, and we can't get back there, and I've left my wallet. I was at a speaking engagement. I've left it back there, so I can't really prove to you who I am, but I own this house, and we need to stay here for the night."
Good concept.
Okay, so Julia Roberts.
What do you do?
Right. So Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke said, "Well, let us talk about this privately." And she's like, "Oh, hell no. We're not letting anybody into this house. We're here. Our kids are here." And Ethan Hawke's like, "Well, they seem like nice people. Let's let them in." And my wife said, in this scenario, she's Julia Roberts and I'm Ethan Hawke.
Immediately.
I would have let them in.
When I saw that scene, I thought, this is the Kellys.
Yeah. She said, "This is you."
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke was like, "Come on, they seem nice. Let's let them in."
Well, and
then it was a racial thing.
Well,
We're
there is
blacks,
the
you're not letting us in.
undertone,
Yeah.
which this is what made me think of you even more. There is the undertone of
I can't turn them away because they're black.
Of course,
Exactly.
of course. I
so
mean,
it's almost like you can tell that he's trying to be like, "Hey, I'm cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hey,
One of the
come on
good
in."
whites.
yeah.
Hello,
I'm one of the
friendly
good
black
whites.
people.
So why don't
Yeah.
you come on in? Now, and the daughter, she's more like, "Oh, I see. You're not going to let us in." Like, "Oh, it's
Yeah.
a racial thing." But Julia Roberts is like, "I have
It's
no
a
idea.
safety thing.
I don't know
Yeah.
who you are." And he says, well, we own this house. She goes, there's not a picture of you
Yeah.
here. And he says, well, we take all the pictures down because it's, we rent this house out.
I thought that scene was really well done.
I did too.
Because I thought that's exactly how that would play out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And from all angles, exactly how that would play out.
I would have let them in. And my wife said, oh, no. No chance.
Yeah, we tried that in 08 with Obama, and look what happened.
Let him in.
But
See?
I really liked the movie. I thought it was very. Now, it went on into. See, I thought that was going to be the whole movie. It's like, should they or shouldn't they let him in? But then it turned out that
Apocalypse.
no, it's an apocalyptic. And it's scary. And I enjoyed
it goes to a point where, like, they need help from somebody that, that frankly, a lot of people would say, well, this is a loony prepper. This is somebody, they're look at this loon prepping for the end of the world. Well, guess what?
Yep. He was
They
right.
need him.
It is the end of the world.
It's Kevin
And
Bacon.
they need him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon is the loon.
And he's got the medicine, a little bit of, but he's got the stuff they need.
Yeah.
So you're going, it really does make you think, because I'm like, I sit there, I see these people prepping, I'm like, well, that seems crazy. But then I'm going, I would be the person going, please take anything you need for
Give
this.
me your pork and beans.
Yeah.
Real interesting concept. The whole thing is great. And a great look at society, because when they need the stuff, they need the medicine. Mahershala Ali says, well, I know this guy who turns out to be Kevin Bacon. We're friends. He's done some contracting work for me. Let's go over to his house. Well, Kevin Bacon turns a gun on him. And Mahershala Ali's like, well, we're friends. He's like, not anymore. This is
how do I know?
This is kill or be killed. This is how it is. And it was the world. Freaked me out a good bit. Let me just say that,
I thought it was good.
I did too. I was impressed by it. At the end, it said, you like this? You want to get freaked out?
I am not watching Freakouts on Christmas.
You're just a walking algorithm.
They just keep throwing stuff up at me. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
keep
they got
watching.
you,
I
brother.
just keep watching this stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah.
I read where Obama does his favorite movies of the year for 2023. All 5 of them were from his production
Oh,
company.
well. What do you know? What do you know?
Weak.
Right,
I
yeah.
know, so weak.
Biggie says he saw Barbie, and
I liked it. It's not something I'll ever probably watch again. Ryan Gosling is phenomenal. He is, which I know it's like, what? But he is the star of Barbie, as Ken. Margot Robbie is she's what they call like just the Barbie, the main plain Barbie to me. And she plays it
main
fine.
plain.
Yeah. But she's what you think of. She's, she is the stereotypical Barbie.
right.
Now, the other Barbies are fun,
Yeah.
but Ryan Gosling steals that movie as Ken. He is hilarious.
Now, at this Christmas party that I went to, after Christmas party, where my friend was back in from high school, they had seen, a lot of them had seen Barbie, and they gave the exact same review you just gave.
Beth and I watched it.
Oh, you saw it?
Because, we like the cast. And I 100% concur with Biggie. Gosling is astonishing.
That's what they all
He's
said.
perfectly cast.
Yes.
And Margot Robbie is perfectly cast.
Yes.
And it's fun. It's a funny setup. It's a little clunky,
Yeah.
I think. Just the plot is a little clunky.
Yeah.
And it gets very wordy, and you almost lose the stars in the end.
Everybody at this gathering said it's good.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling steals it,
The sets are amazing.
but it's not like
There's
over
not
the
enough
top
like
great.
fish out of water stuff.
Yeah, it's not
which is what you expected.
yeah.
Because they have to go from Barbie Land to the real world, Southern California.
Is that what they're doing?
And there's not enough of the. They're fine moving around in the real world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're not impressed by
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, I brought up at this after Christmas party, I said, what about all the man hating and everything in there? And they were, all of them, give me.
Yeah.
Clearly, he's
I'm gonna go get a refill.
probably a Nikki Haley
I
guy.
thought they bashed the patriarchy
Yeah.
a lot.
That's what I said. I said, I understand there's a lot of bashing of the patriarchy. They all turned away from him. They're like, okay, forget it then. This guy, look at this guy. Here's the woman. Now, I'm the only one that's going to stand up for this loon. I almost guarantee it.
Why? Is this the story that's going to split you, cleave you in two?
Yes, I think it probably is. The woman suing Hershey. The woman is suing Hershey.
You love a nuisance lawsuit, and yet you love Hershey.
Well, exactly. That's a fact.
Tear you in two.
That's true. This will tear me in two. But last year there was a lawsuit. Somebody sued Burger King because the burger on the commercial looks perfect, and then when you get it at Burger King, it's all messed up. And I was the only one saying, "You go. This is unfair advertising.
Make it
practice."
look like the picture.
Exactly. Make it look like the picture. Well, this woman, similar now, Cynthia Kelly from Florida, bought some Reese's peanut butter pumpkins in October. And when she got them home, she was going to eat some of the pumpkins and give them out for Halloween. And when she got them home, she was eating one, and she said, this is nothing but a blob. This is just a blob of chocolate. It's not a pumpkin.
Yeah.
And the packaging shows detailed like carvings of a jack-o'-lantern on the packaging. There's no carving. There's no carved out face. And she says,
she's right.
Exactly. Now she paid $4.99 for these Halloween Reese's Cup pumpkins, and she goes, I want $5 million. This is bad.
I want a face or five?
That's $5 million she's suing for because she looked at these peanut butter pumpkins at the checkout register, and she believed that they would have carvings of the jack-o'-lantern in there. And then she said, I've done a little more research on this. Your eggs don't look like eggs at Easter either. They're just blobs.
She's right.
She is right.
And there's
See
no
the Christmas
decorations
trees?
on the trees.
And the trees
Blob.
are worthless. It's a blob of chocolate.
And the
why they
bells, they're just blobs.
Just blobs of
They're all
chocolate.
blobs.
I think that's why they never did turkeys for Thanksgiving.
Really?
You can't do feathers.
What are you going to do? Right. So she says, so I'm suing. She wants a class action lawsuit for $5 million for anyone that has ever bought these special Reese's cups that are supposed to be carved out pumpkins or Christmas trees or eggs or whatever they might be. She's like, you got to just put this on your packaging. It's not there.
Is there one? She searched the entire packaging. It doesn't say.
She says that. She says it doesn't say
Okay.
packaging. It just has a
Product
picture.
may vary. Is
Right.
that what you could say?
It doesn't
Is
say
that enough?
She says it does not say that. But
Because remember when they started doing the Christmas trees? 10 years ago,
Yeah.
we started seeing, when the internet got a hold of these things, they'd pull them out and they look like turds.
exactly.
Yeah.
Those went around the internet quickly. But if you just say product may vary, because on the packaging, they look perfect.
Yeah, like
Perfectly shaped like
Christmas
trees.
trees, right?
But
yeah,
they're not. They're
Yeah.
blobs, as Dave said.
But I think she's going to lose because the precedent has been set with Burger King. It's like you don't have to come through with the product. I think you should have to
But
come through that.
well, it is slightly different because these are individually
Oh, you're
wrapped
right.
and packaged.
You're right, and it is on the package what it looks like. I'm cheering for this woman, and at the last sentence of the article says, "Don't get me started on the footballs they come out with at Super Bowl time."
Hey, footballs?
There's no.
I haven't seen the footballs.
I hadn't either.
That seems like the easiest one.
There's no laces on that football.
Laces and stripes?
There's no stripe on that football.
There's no stripes.
They've got on their packaging a stripe and laces. Nothing.
Yeah.
She's like, nothing.
No lace.
It's just a blob. Is all it is.
No, but if you're an adult and you open the packaging and you put it in your mouth like you do,
Yeah.
and it's delicious.
Of course it's delicious.
And those are better than the other Reese's because they're thicker and it's got more peanut butter in it. Or whatever
I
it
agree
is.
with that. I like the peanut butter ratio on the thicker.
Without a doubt.
I love that.
Than the regular Reese's. So you sit there and you're like, okay, I forgive you for that.
To prove her case, and maybe our attorney, we can put this on Lisa Lanier's docket for Friday.
Yeah.
Does the woman in Pennsylvania have to show the only reason she bought those was the smiley face?
Well,
or the jack-o'-lantern face?
she says, I would never have purchased Reese's peanut butter pumpkins if I did not think there were detailed carvings of the mouth and or eyes as pictured on the product label. And that's what she said.
Is that something you have to convince a jury or a judge?
I bet you do have to convince a judge, and I don't think she's going to win. I think, because we just take it. We just bend over.
You can't go up against big chocolate.
No, you just bend
You're
over.
going to lose.
You just bend
in Pennsylvania, you got to take it out of state.
You're right. You're right. But she says,
You going to try this in Hershey?
no, you're going to lose. But
You damn right you're going to lose.
But we always lose this. We see it on the television commercial or on the packaging. We just say, oh, well, whatever.
But that's just, we've sort of, companies aren't being held to that standard, right? Advertising
they're
is,
not. No.
You can gussy up your product if you want.
But you can. But see, I don't think that should be allowed. I don't think you should be allowed to gussy up your product. Do you? That's just to me, it's too much.
I think those, if you watch football over the weekend, and I did a lot, and I'm sure you guys did too.
Oh, yeah.
You can't miss the Burger King commercials where that cheese is melting off the side.
yeah.
Or
Oh,
the
yeah.
pretzel
Oh, yeah.
baconator. You think it looks like that?
it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Wendy's.
It doesn't.
At a
don't.
Wendy's.
It does. We all say that. But speaking of football, this is what a puss I am.
You're a puss.
My friend Young Mike is a big Cowboys fan.
Okay.
And my friend Diesel is a Lions fan.
Fact.
Okay, you know that. So, did you see the Lions played the Cowboys on Saturday night?
Ooh.
Big controversy.
The Texas two-step.
Yep. At the end of the game,
The
huge
debacle in Dallas.
Right. So, I see Young Mike early the next day at the gym, and he's a big Dallas fan. I walk in, I said, "Boy, you guys kind of stole one last night." And he goes, "Oh, don't give me that. Don't give me that. You know that guy checking into the game, that was perfectly, hey, referee
Illegal
down here,
2-point conversion.
too bad." And, he had 3 chances. He went for 2 every time. And I was like, you're right. You guys won fair and square. No doubt about it. Good win. Good luck in the playoffs. Then I go over. I'm going over to play pickleball with the Diesel. And I see him. He goes, "You see the Lions get screwed last night?" He's like, "Boy, did I." Talk about having to bend over. I mean, that's all I do. I just like,
good luck in the playoffs.
Man.
And this is how Two-Face was born for Batman.
Boy, yeah. Boy, they got talk about getting rogered. These guys got rogered, but good.